43% fail rate. That's the fail rate for people who go in front of the police oral boards. 43%. So why is it so high? Because people are walking to these oral boards, LEO style, right? Oral boards think it's going to be a civilian-based interview, and it's nothing like that whatsoever, okay? That's the issue. They're walking to what I would call a tank fight with just their hands. You're not going to win at all. Let's get right down to it. So who are you going to face, first of all? You got 3 to 5 people in front of you, sergeant, lieutenant, who knows, right? People that rank. Don't try to read them. They can't be read. These guys are professionals, been this for like a long time. They have the ultimate poker face, so don't try to read them. You want to feed off of them. If they're firm, you be firm. They smile, you smile. That's what you want to do. All my clients know this already. Number 2, eye contact is important. When they ask you a question, the first person is asking you a question, you look at them, give them 30 seconds. And then you spread your answer 15 seconds, 15 seconds, 15, 15. You want to be inclusive. A strong person, a strong speaker looks and shares their answer with the whole room. They're just not transfixed on one person who's asking the question. You must share your answer. We go through this time and time again in my coaching program. My clients look professional from the minute they sit down to the minute they stand up because they're taught this. Now, what kind of questions are you going to get? Well, you surely are going to get behavioral questions. So what does that mean by behavioral? Let's do it. Let's do one called integrity under pressure. This is not in my coaching program, but I want to give you an example of what they're going to ask you, right? Tell us about a time you were asked to do something you believe was wrong or against policy. What did you do? People think STAR, right? Situation, task, action, result. It's not STAR. T, first of all, comes out. It's situation, action, result. It's SAR, right? But that's not overt. Your answer that I teach you in my coaching is that it is a covert way of using SAR, situation, action, result. That question there alone has 7 points to it. There's even a way to begin the process even before you answer the question. My clients know this. This is why my clients pass at 90.4%. They understand how to answer a question per what the interview panel wants to hear. These are serious people. Lieutenants, sergeants, patrol people. They're serious. They understand what they want to hear. They don't want to hear a bunch of fluff. 7 points. That's 7 points for sure. 7 points are the judgment, integrity, focus, mission. How'd you wrap it up? And 2 secondaries as well inside that answer. 5 main points, 2 backup points within the same question. That's a behavioral question. Another one, right? The other thing you want to do, they're going to ask you a question about integrity for sure. Why? Because it's under the microscope all the time. Law enforcement, even before cameras, has always been under the aspects of integrity, always under the pressure of integrity. Always, always, always. So you're definitely going to get a question about that. In my coaching program, we go through that time and time again because I test you in many ways and I push you to the limit. So Coach Mitch, why do you push me that hard? Because they're going to push you that hard. You got me, one person. Yes, I bring to you 6 years of experience, a 90.4% success rate, but it's still me. You got these 3 or 4 people there trying to play with you on purpose. And when I say play, I mean they're trying to play to your strengths and your weaknesses. That's what they're trying to find out. Where does this person stand? What's going on with him or her? They are already envisioning you in the uniform right before them. Don't be fooled with your shirt and tie, your dress, whatever you're wearing. That's not how they see you. They see you in uniform just like them, and they expect to hear questions, and they expect to hear answers that are close to what they do. Well, gee, coach, don't they give me a break? Well, they might give you a break here and there, but you know what? They can be choosy. Well, Coach Mitch, but they always say Ellie needs more employees. Yes, they do, but they are really coming down with the selection process in a heavy quality type fashion nowadays. They're just not filling ranks anymore. Why? Because filling ranks gets you what? Lawsuits, right? Get lawsuits, people get fired, and all sorts of trust for the community goes down. They don't want that anymore. They rather have, 20% low on staffing who are quality staff. They'd be 120% high and they're all quantity staff. They don't want that. They want men and women out there who really understand integrity. Let's do another one, personal conflict. This question is always brought to you because it's how thick is your skin and where is your moral behavior, right? So here we go. Describe a time you disagreed with a coworker or supervisor. How did you handle it and what was the outcome? You understand? That's a lot in one question, right? And what was the outcome? Emotional control, communication, and moral guidance. That's what they're looking for. Emotional control means how you can respond to a person who's higher than you in rank, your supervisor. For sure, I mean, that's not easy, correct? Communication. How do you communicate to this person that you don't feel the way they feel in a tactful way that's also respectful? That's very good, right? And maturity. Is this guy going to trigger you because they say something or whatever, right? The supervisor, whoever it is, some you don't agree with. Can you respond in a way, even though you might be triggered a little bit, can you still be a mature person who's wearing the badge and still respond like an adult? That's why they do this to you. Let's get into some split-second judgment. I have 4 or 5 of these type questions in my coaching program. Let me give you one here. I just found this one anywhere, so here we go. So, you dispatched to a domestic disturbance. Very dangerous situation. I've been through these a few times myself. It's dangerous. When you arrive, the husband's outside, angry but unarmed. The wife is inside crying. He says, if you go in there, she'll lie about me. What do you do? Okay, situation, right? Domestic. You should already know you're going to get backup coming for sure, right? You know she's crying inside, but you don't go inside. This man's telling you, we tell you in the interview, he's unarmed. How do you know he's unarmed? You got to make sure, right? We're imposing upon you he's unarmed. But you don't know for sure he's unarmed, so you can be what? Cautious, right? Situationally aware. Things like that we're going to use in the interview process. Just don't take the words of the interview panel as if it's 100% gold. They are testing you to see, will you test yourself for your own safety and go outside the bounds of their question, meaning that will you add other references in? They're like, how do I know it's safe there? How do I know he's really unarmed? Where's my backup? Things of that nature. You add to it. You understand? You add to these things. That answer there has 9 points to it. 9 easy. I saw 9 right from the beginning, probably 10, but 9 for sure. You guys, the core of this oral board, I don't care what state you're in, what city you're in, you're going to have at least a few of these type of questions that will depend on you to have what I call preloaded stories. The preloaded story is something we go through over and over again because we want you to be able to draw something out of your quill, right, where your arrows are at. Boom, here's your answer, and you give it to them. These are not 100% done. It's about 85% done. You have about 15% where you can add to it. The method here is this. I've been doing this for 6 years. I don't want my candidates to go in there empty-headed. Like, okay, I'm gonna sit down and ready for this. No, my candidates, my clients are prepped. So we want these stories already in you that show leadership, integrity, motivation, morality, things like that. Again, it's not the complete story, but I want to pre-arm you before you walk into this battle. And yes, you guys, it is a battle. You're fighting hard for this job because you got 10 other people who are fighting for it too. So it's not just about you. You have competition. If you're serious about passing this oral board, I want you to go down there, click on the link, get into the coaching program you want, and then get into my calendar. Once you do that, you will get an email from me asking you what state you're in, what city you're going for, because we need this information is very important. Because then we're going to do some research. And then we're going to set up our first coaching session. That first session, I talked about 40 minutes there. You also will interject, of course, back and forth, right? But I'm going to talk the first time about 40 minutes. You're going to get 4 practice interviews at that point as well. At that point, we're going to break it down, figure it out, and then fine-tune the answers for you. Next, we're going to book you again. At that one there, you're going to go through the whole interview panel questions. I'm going to be just as hard on you as they're going to be hard on you in the interview space. Now, in between, right, I'm me. I'm a very nice guy. I'm very presentable. I'm very open. I'm very warm kind of guy. But during the interview, I do you no favors at all. If I'm sitting here laughing with you, ha ha, well, that kind of stuff is not going to happen. Because at the end of the day, my reputation is with your reputation. My success depends on your success. My legacy is important to me. I'm in my late 50s now. At this point in my life, a man starts thinking about what's he going to leave behind. I want to leave this behind. Badges on chests, for people who want to continue the mission. Now, if you're serious about this, go down my link below, get into my calendar, and you and I are going to meet on the other side. Until then, though, continue your mission.